Tons of medical coders are finding amazing job opportunities through LinkedIn. So if you don't have a profile set up, you don't want to be left in the dark, I'm going to show you from start to finish how to set up your profile on LinkedIn specifically for medical coders and healthcare business professionals. So let's get into it. Hey everyone, I'm Victoria. I'm a medical coder, auditor, educator, national speaker, blogger, podcaster, and YouTuber, and I am here today to talk to you about how to set up a LinkedIn profile, specifically if you're working in the medical coding industry. LinkedIn is a social media platform for business professionals to grow connections and grow their network online. In the medical coding industry, there are tons of recruiters from all different types of agencies looking for medical coders and posting jobs online through LinkedIn. So if you are not on LinkedIn, you're going to miss out on a lot of opportunities. And it's not that hard to set up a profile, but it can be a little bit intimidating knowing what goes where. So I'm just going to hop right onto my computer and we're going to do this tutorial style, and I'm going to show you start to finish how to set up your LinkedIn profile. Okay, so here we are on LinkedIn. This is what the page looks like if you have not yet set up an account. So what you do is you hit here where it says join now and you enter in your email address. I'm going to actually enter in my daughter's email account and set up one for her because I need to have a email address. So you just use in your email address and password and agree and join. And then after that you fill in your name. We'll just call this Lizzie Coder and continue. So we have to check that you're not a robot, and now we're in. So it's going to ask for your country, postal code, location in this area, and that's going to be publicly available. That's going to be where it's going to show your location is. So you could change this to, I could change it to Greater Philadelphia if I wanted to, because I'm kind of near that area. I might not want to have people know my exact little suburban area that I'm in. So here we go, most recent job title. So if you are actively working as a coder, this would be maybe a professional coder. And again, this is job title. So one of the things that I've seen a lot of coders do is they'll put here that they are currently a CPC at the AAPC. Unless the AAPC is actually signing your paychecks, you cannot put down that you are employed by them. So that is inappropriate to put down that you are a CPC at AAPC. This is your job title. Whoever signed your last paycheck, that will be your job title. So your most recent company, we'll just say ABC Coding Co. And we'll just make something up right now just for the sake of this tutorial. Industry, you would want to select, I believe healthcare is on here, hospital and healthcare. So that's the one that you would want to select. Continue. You could also put a student if you're currently a student. I'm not going to take you through that one though for the purposes of this tutorial. And then it's going to ask to confirm your email. So I'm going to just do this on the back end so you guys don't have to look at that. And then you agree and confirm. So here's an interesting question. Are you looking for a new job? And your answer won't be shown to others. So yeah, maybe I am looking for a new job. So search for a job you're interested in, professional coder, Greater Philadelphia area, and it'll show you how to search jobs. Maybe you're not ready to do just that yet, but you can see right here, it's telling me all kinds of different jobs that are available. I haven't even filled in my profile yet, and I'm looking at jobs possibly. So let's get back though to how to do our profile. One thing that can help you out is putting a profile picture on here, and it doesn't need to be a professional headshot. You can take it by yourself, and I'll talk a little bit about some of my tactics for that. But this doesn't need to be what I refer to as the Sears portrait studio photo. And if you look at some of the high-level professionals, you know, your Gary Vaynerchuk's and likes of the industries, these prominent professionals, they're not doing the Sears portrait studio headshots anymore. They're a little bit more creative, a little bit more dynamic. They're not the stern cross your arms so that you look like you mean business, photos that we used to take in the past. The other thing I will get on my soapbox about is change your profile picture at least every 5 years. I have seen some very prominent figures in the healthcare industry that I've met at conventions and had no idea who they were and could not recognize them because they were using headshots from 10, 15, 20 years ago. So update your headshots every 5 years. And again, they don't need to be super professional. You can use your cell phone these days just very easily to take one. Actually, the headshot that I use, I was going to originally use as a thumbnail photo, and I liked it so much that I kept it and used it as my headshot. Now, there's a lot of great things that you can do with your cell phone. You can do like a 2-second timer. That's what I recommend, that you can do like a press the button and then you have 2 seconds to angle it correctly. If you have like something that you can hold it into to take the picture, that's good too. And a lot of these settings now have things like a cheese or a hand wave that you just wave your hand and then you have the 2-second timer and you can quick get into it. I always recommend go use natural lighting. If you can, go to like a park or your backyard and try to just take a nice photo. Now don't do one of these where you're like looking up at the phone like this, like it's practically shooting down into your bra. And I just want to speak to my ladies in the audience. Do not wear a low cut shirt for your LinkedIn profile picture. Show off what you can do in the industry, the skills that you have. You do not need to feel validated by your breasts. Now, when you click on the picture icon, it'll give you the option to use your camera, which means you're going to take a picture right now or upload a photo. So I would suggest upload a photo. You can upload your design, put your picture in there. You can zoom in and out. You can move it around, straighten it, turn it this way and that, and just get it to where you like it and then save the photo. The other thing I will suggest is they do have filters and stuff that you can mess with here. No Snapchat filters. Don't give yourself bunny ears. Don't put glowing stars behind you either. This is a professional website. You can be more than happy to use those photos on Snapchat or Facebook, but on a professional website like LinkedIn, that's not really appropriate. Now next, you can put in contact information. So here would be your email and your LinkedIn profile. You can also add in a phone number and address. I would say that's not really needed to add in your phone number and address. They can get a hold of you by messaging you on LinkedIn or by sending you an email. The other thing you can do is change this header image. So if you don't want these little connected balls and lines here, you can change this image. You can go really easily on canva.com and type in LinkedIn, and it will show you all kinds of different options for LinkedIn banners, and you can pick one of these and use it as it is. You can edit it out, and then you'll have like cute little customized header for your LinkedIn profile. Now, the other thing I want to show you is, see how it says professional coder at ABC Coding Company? So my actual LinkedIn profile here, it says that I'm a medical coding auditor, educator, podcaster, and YouTuber. So you can change your title. Like if you are a medical coding student, you could put in here medical coding student, but don't put in anything here that's like too desperate, like please need medical coding job, I am searching for a medical coding job. I would say if you've got your CPC, that's definitely something that you could put in there. Just leave it at like certified professional coder, because that's true. You are a certified professional coder. That might not be your job title right now, but you are a certified professional coder, and that would probably look better to recruiters versus saying that you're currently working, wherever you may be working. If you're a secretary at a trucking industry or something, that you can put in there the certified professional coder, and that's fine. Again, just don't put anything too desperate or clingy in there. Now, the other thing you can do is add your education. So here you might want to put down that I went to ABC Technical School, and I have a diploma, or maybe let's see if they have certification. Oh my gosh, this keyboard. Certification. Okay. Field of study, medical coding. There we go, medical insurance coding specialist. That looks good. We finished in 2019 to 2020. And then you can put in activities and societies if you had them, and then description, medical coding and billing student. And you can even put in here like if you made the dean's list or something like that, or if you had really good grades in school. This would be somewhere to put that sort of information. If you had any projects that you worked on that you want to show off, you can put them up here. Maybe if there's like a PowerPoint presentation you had to do, you could show that off. Or if you put together some sort of medical coding document or instructional materials, you can put that here as well. And you can choose if you want to share this with the network or if you don't want to share this with your network, and then save it. Okay, so we've added in our education, country, region, industry. If you have a personal URL email, you can add that in there as well. So now we're making progress. The other thing you can do is add in profile sections. So intros, about, featured, background, education, licenses, and certifications. This is one that you're definitely going to want to get in there, your licenses and certification. So here, if you are a certified professional coder, which is the CPC, what you want to do in there is put an AAPC. So the AAPC credentials do technically expire if you don't renew them at the end of your membership period. So you can either click that it doesn't expire, or then you'd have to update it every month when you renew. You know, it's kind of up to you. And then you can put your credential ID here. And it's important to put your credential ID here, which would be your membership ID number. That's the one that shows up at the very top of your AAPC account online or on the app. And you can just type that in here. And for your URL, I would absolutely put in here www.aapc.com. Reason being is that recruiters can go on the AAPC website, put in that membership number, that credential ID, and your last name, and search and verify that you are in fact a certified coder. If you have multiple credentials, you can just add in the extra credentials as well. Now let's go through some of these add to profile sections though. So the intro is if you are looking for a job, you can put in here, you know, I'm immediately looking for a job, I'm looking for full-time, and you can choose to see who knows that you're open to work. Share it with all LinkedIn members, which will right now put on this cute little green banner that you're open to work, and you can add that to your profile. Oh, and look, this red thing popped up. I need to add a job title. So what are some of the job titles? Medical coder, and maybe medical biller. Those would be your top two that I would suggest. So add that to your profile. And let's say I don't right now want to notify my network, so we'll just say no thanks, because I'm a new profile and I don't have information on here that I want to put. So the next section is your about section, which is where you can put a summary of some information about you. I would suggest starting with a hook and then going into like why I'm an authority. So hook them. Why is it that this recruiter, why is it that this organization should hire you? I am passionate about accurate, I spelled that wrong, passionate about accurate and compliant medical coding. I always work efficiently to keep up with standards of productivity and accuracy. I've been a certified medical coder since 2019, and I scored a very high 95% on my coding examination. Okay, so I'm not going to get into a huge long summary here just for the example of this tutorial, but you can see where it says, like, you know, you are very passionate about your job, you've got very high accuracy, you want to do the right thing, compliance is important to you. Those are the things you kind of want to put into your summary. The next section that we have is featured posts, featured articles, featured links, featured media. You're not going to have anything just starting out, but I would suggest maybe take some pertinent news articles or things that are going on in the industry, not just post them, not just like post, here's a news article about fraud, but make comments about it, like just thought-provoking things. Say, you know, as a medical coder, I pride myself in making sure that I detect fraud, and, you know, it's unfortunate when these sort of cases happen. At least some kind of commentary. So not just the article itself, but your thoughts on it. That's really what drives it. Or if you are involved in a local chapter and you're like, hey, look, we just had our first virtual meeting, you know, take a little snapshot of it, show that online. You found a speaker, you know, say, hey, I'm so glad that I was able to find Victoria Moll as our speaker for our virtual meeting or for our AAPC chapter meeting. You know, show off those little things like that. or even if you are taking a CEU class or some kind of conference, anything that you can do to show that you're keeping up on your education is very important. So the next profile section then is your background. You can add additional work experience. So if you had another job here at as a medical coder, full-time is the next, and then the company XYZ Coding, and the location, Allentown, Pennsylvania, so that's near where I am. Currently working in this role, let's say this was an old role, and I had it, you'll have to put in your dates and times, and when you left that job. What I always like to put in the description is not just what your job description said you worked on, but also pertinent projects that you did, if you had a high accuracy rate, if you got really good reviews on your annual reviews. So not just like what were my job description, but what did you do above that? Were there projects that you worked on? Were you helping out in other departments? Were you cross-trained? So always accentuate any extras that you did, not just what was expected of you, but anything above that. And when you're filling out any of these boxes in LinkedIn, the other thing is use the first person. Don't say Lizzie Coder was very good at medical coding. Say I was very good at medical coding. I did this, I did that, not you referring to yourself in the third person. Now, as a jumping off point, you could put in here, the basics, start with the bullets of what it was that you did in the job. Maybe, posted 12 CPTs an hour, had 95% accuracy, maintained insurance state federal guidelines, kept up with my CEUs, anything like that. Your actual job description you can put in there, and then make sure you're always emphasizing the extras. And then you have your skills, so you can add in just all of the skills that you feel that you're proficient at. So medical coding, EMR would be a good one, electronic medical records. Make sure you add in all of those office skills like Microsoft, PowerPoint. I think there's a limit to how many you can put in, so make sure that you're emphasizing the ones that you want on the front. Current procedural terminology, ICD coding, ICD 10. So make sure all of those medical coding skills that you have, and it'll start suggesting ones as you go on. So if you can't think of more than 10 different skills that you have, it'll eventually start suggesting different ones that you can add in. So see here, healthcare, medicine, what else? HCPCS, you want to put that in here, HCPCS. So just put in as much as you can, but again, it'll tell me here you can only add 42 more skills. So there is a limit, so make sure that you have those medical coding ones first, and then your office skills as well. And look, our profile strength is going up. It's showing you that you are having a more strong profile as you're going through all of these different sections and adding more stuff in. So accomplishments. If you're a new coder, you probably won't have a lot of publications, but that's something to think about. You can publish in Healthcare Business Monthly, you can publish in Billing and Coding magazine. You don't have to be an absolute expert, but if you know something about one subject that you can write about, it'll look great on your LinkedIn profile. You're probably not going to have a lot of patents. Courses you could probably include, projects, honors and awards. Depending on your schooling, you might have been on the honor roll, you might have been on the dean's list, so that's something to put there. Test scores. Let's take a look at this actually. So if you had a really good score on your CPC exam, let's see if this is even in here. Certified Professional Coder. Associated with, see, it doesn't even say in here, so you have to associate this. Okay, so you may be associated with your school, but I would say, if you had a really high score on your CPC exam, like 90% or above, I would maybe put it in here. I would maybe put it in here and say, I got APC CPC exam, and that you got a really good high rating on that. It really can't hurt. So next, let's go down here. Test scores, languages, organizations. If you speak other languages, definitely put that in here if you are bilingual and what your proficiency level is on that. And then after that, we have additional information. So you could request a recommendation. So once you've connected to people, you can request that they do recommendations for you. You can submit that to people that you've worked with in the past, people in your chapter, request a recommendation through them. And that'll show on your profile so people can see, oh yeah, this person was recommended by Tony L. Holmes. She says that she's a great worker. We should hire her. And then the last button, I've not used this in the past, but add your profile in another language. Now, once you've created the profile, you're not just done, you need to get some connections. So I would suggest connecting with some of your recruiter friends. Just go around, look, who's my buddy? Chase Nelson. He's great. He works for Imagine Solutions. I would connect with him. I would also connect with my buddy Bertram. There he is. He's another great recruiter. So once you're connected with these recruiters, when they post new jobs, you'll see them on your LinkedIn feed, so you'll know that you can apply. And you'll already be connected with them. They can see your LinkedIn profile, see what your skills are, so they're already starting to get a feel of if it's a match or not. And look at his LinkedIn profile. Again, remember we talked about that header? His title here doesn't say recruiter. It says trouble finding talent. We recruit HIM staff and IT talent fast. Founder, speaker, host, recruiter. So you can get a little bit creative with that title. But again, don't insinuate that you are working for a HEMA or working for AAPC. But you can put on here certified professional coder or certified outpatient coder or whatever your title in that fashion might be. But don't insinuate that you work for the AAPC or that you work for a HEMA. And you may start getting a lot of connection requests too, but what I want to caution you with is don't accept every single connection request just because they send it to you. Because you're going to wind up getting flooded in your feed with stuff that doesn't pertain to you, or people are going to start sending you weird messages. I have gotten, unfortunately, a couple of messages from guys that I think are just trying to have someone to chat with, and that is not appropriate, and they are getting ignored. But I've also seen a lot of people that will request me because I think they are just trying to sell me things, that they are, someone who owns a shed company or someone who, does real estate, which has nothing to do with healthcare. So in those cases, I will usually decline their requests because I don't want to start getting spammed in my messages with all kinds of things that they're trying to sell me. So that's my tutorial for LinkedIn. Put in a nice profile picture, make sure you hook them. Why are they supposed to hire you? And what is it that you can provide? And why are you an authority in that subject? Likely being medical coding. And then put in your job, your education, your accuracy level, good exam scores, all those extras that you did above and beyond what your typical job bullet list requirements are. Post helpful articles, post your thoughts on them, comment on other people's articles, and then post all the stuff that you're doing. Are you going to seminars? Are you going to conferences? Are you getting CEUs online? And make sure that you're giving your thoughts on different subjects that you're posting about. And then start making connections, but start making the right connections, not people that are just trying to sell you things. All those hot recruiters, make sure you get on them. Those people that are hiring tons of medical coders like Coders Direct. You definitely want to get connected with Coders Direct and all of their job postings that they have on LinkedIn. All right, if you haven't set up your LinkedIn profile, you better do it now. And if you need to do some tweaks, get on it because you don't want to miss out on those amazing opportunities that are out there. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you have a friend that needs help with their LinkedIn, make sure you share it to them. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get alerts when I post all of these helpful videos every single week. I will see you in the next video, and until then, just keep on coding on.